Are you enlightened? Let's find out.
You are watching Divine Knowledge.
Welcome, and with another vlog, I am back. Are you enlightened? Enlightenment is basically a scenic vision within your perception. Now, the perception could be in your dream or in your basic reality, the world we are living in, through your senses, obviously. The enlightenment I'm going to talk about in this particular vlog will only be about guidance about this world. I'm talking about this world, about the people, about your loved ones, about your home, and about yourself. Any mishaps or maybe good things to happen that basically you find out within your dream or through your perceptions, but about this world only. The first phase of enlightenment is that basically in your dream you start to see maybe your grandfather, uncle or dad, or maybe your aunties, someone who has had an accident or maybe has passed away, and they are basically living, and that is basically what you see in your dream. And in the couple of days coming, or maybe the weeks, something like this happens, unfortunately. That means that in the dream you are getting guidance. You are enlightened in a certain way. Now, the other example within the dream that you see that I'm giving a very, very hypothetical example, but it's a very true form of guidance, that a young girl sees that she's 19, 20, and that she gets married within a year, and she has a boy, and the boy's name is XYZ, and she's playing with him and everything. In the upcoming years, that turns into a reality, that dream. And then when she thinks about it, she'll think about, oh yes, I dreamt about this thing, and this has happened, and the boy's name is XYZ. That is another form of guidance. That's a good one. That's a good, you can put it down as good guidance. It's very clear guidance, and the thing is that it's very positive guidance, actually. If you get the right word, it's positive. Now one sees that they bought a car and the color is white. Within 1 week, the brother brings in a car. Oh, mom, I've got the car. There we go. The keys are for you, and happy everyone. And they have a peep from the window, maybe open the door, open the gate, and go out and see a white car. That means that they are basically getting guidance through enlightenment. That means they are enlightened in their dream world. In their subconscious, they are getting guidance. Now the other form comes when they are half asleep, which in our language is called ghunud, either neither here or neither there. Maybe in a power nap they just go like that and they open, and they've traveled like 10,000 miles. That's another form. And that basically, that guidance would be in basically because you're half here and half there, basically your perceptions, your senses are not fully shut down, and your subconscious is not fully awakened, because in basically when we go to sleep, our subconscious is fully awakened and our senses partially shut down. Not fully, That's why if somebody screams, you get up. Why are you screaming? The alarm rings, you get up. They're partially shut down. So within that state of half senses or maybe quarter senses and touching the surface of the subconscious, you will hear something or maybe see something, and that will be like in a snap, and that snap will be like a 30-minute movie trailer you've seen within, because that half year and half there only lasts for like 10 to 15 seconds maybe. If you're very good at it, if he's basically maybe a spiritualist, if he has that control over that senses, half here, half there, and that subconscious, he can control it for up to 7 to 8 minutes, coming and going, and seeing one thing again and again, or maybe plenty of things again and again, or maybe different things. But the main thing here is that he will hear something, and that hearing will bring a visualization. He will see something. The hearing part will be from the senses that are here. The hearing part will be from the senses that are here, and the seeing part, because it's divided, because there are two different you can put it down as dimensions, but two realms operating on the edge of each other. It's not overlapping, it's on the edge of each other. And those two realms, basically, one will give you a voice and the other one will give you a visualization, but it will be very, very snapped and it will be fast, and then you will get out of it. Either you'll fall into it in the sleep or you'll get out of it. Usually when you have guidance within that half bit here, the half bit there, you basically get out of it. There are very few people who can just drift into that path. That is called following the light, following the dot, but that is very difficult to do. That takes a lot of meditation and practice. Now the other type of guidance, or maybe enlightenment, because I call it guidance over here, because we are looking for worldly things, people and that's why I call it guidance. The other one, that is that when you are awake, when you're wide awake and you shut your eyes and then you start to visualize something, you see something, and then that seeing basically shows you something, and repeatedly it repeats one incident again and again with your eyes closed and you're awake, but you don't hear anything. And that could be same as the previous example, maybe uncle auntie's death, or maybe the car keys, the good news that you're getting married, kids. It could be something like that. You're basically thinking of something. You think you're thinking of something. By the way, I'll just want to add in, you think you're thinking. You'll try to avoid that thinking, but still that thinking will overpower all your senses. But that is a form of guidance. That is enlightenment on its own. That is one form of enlightenment. Now the other form comes in sound. Basically, you're sitting in a concert, music is loud, everyone is running wild, people are high, people are very, very high, and people are on their high horses, everyone is just dancing and music is raving loud. And then you start to hear something out of nowhere, it just pops in your ear. One line, or maybe 2 words, or maybe 3 words, just making a sentence and making some sense out of it. That is another form. But that form basically comes and goes. Basically, you hear it in the concert and that's it, it's gone. But the best part about that is you won't forget it. Usually, I'll state something about the enlightenment. Basically, is that you can call it realization. You start knowing. Basically, you realize that this is going to happen, that is going to happen. Realization of this world, you usually don't forget. You remember. Realization of this world, you don't forget. But the reality of that place, you will never remember. You will always forget. Anything that is in regards to enlightenment itself, or as who is enlightening you, you will never remember, either in subconscious or senses or reality or whatever you call it. You will not remember. You will forget. It'll basically overpower your thought process. It will erase your memory. This is how these things work. Now that is one thing. It's coming in the ear and you just hear it, and it was good, bad, ugly, whatever it was. But that is a form of guidance as well. It comes through the ear. Now the other one that usually tends you can put it down as visualization through your eyes. You see someone, you go to the city center, or maybe your market, or maybe the fishmonger, machli bazaar, and you're going there, you're walking. You thought you saw something, but wasn't there. You thought you saw something, and you're looking, and then what's that? And you tell your partner, or husband, or maybe brother or mother that see that, what? Nothing. You're just cutting fish. No. And then you look. You see something, but when you look, snap, it's gone. You're seeing it, it's there, but when you look, your consciousness kicks in. You overpower your senses, you take control, and it's gone. Because one thing, remember, that the other side does not like control. They like to always be in control. They cannot be controlled. They do not like to be controlled. This is how these things work. Coming back to the subject. You see it, and that's it, and it's gone. And that could be anything. That could be anything. In the fish market, you will be sitting and seeing the news headline that there is going to be a plane crash, or maybe you are going for Umrah, mashallah. I'm just giving good and bad examples, worst case scenarios. Whilst looking at the fish being cut by the fishmonger, मछली वाला मछली काट रहा है, उससे आप वो देख रहे हैं, उसके साथ साथ आपने ये देखा है खुली आंख से, मगर आपने जब कोशिश की देखने की, you lost it, it's gone. This is one form through your visualization, and these are basically all senses based, because the thing is, it's on guidance, it's for this world, because your senses only operate in this space and time. Well, if there is any space and time, that these senses do not operate. There is another you can put it down as apparatus within your body and your soul and your spirit that operates. You'll hear about these things that are in my upcoming vlogs. Now the other thing is, these are 3-4 types of tools that are used by the enlightened to enlighten you. Now for this, basically the enlightened could be maybe a sheikh, or maybe some wise man, or maybe the man of God, or maybe whoever it is, a Sufi or a saint, or maybe a rabbi, or maybe a sadhu, whoever is these tools. He will basically, he knows how to switch on these apparatuses for your own usage for this world. Now if we think that, okay, I haven't got anyone, I'm just a common person, I go to sleep and I get up, go to work, come back, watch TV, play with my kids, do their homework with them, and that's it. Then I go to bed, and then I get up in the morning. I don't follow anyone, I don't listen to anything, I don't believe in anyone, I don't want to believe in anything. Put it this way, very simple and basic formula. If that particular person starts to hear, see, or maybe dream or something, incidents that are happening, what will that mean? What will that mean? That he is enlightened. He is enlightened by some superior power, which he does not know about. Maybe he believes in God. He believes in oneness of God, put it this way. Or he may be believing in plenty of gods. But still, if he has no physical presence of a humanly body in this world who is enlightened and is making him or trying to make him enlightened, he will basically, that means that there is a superior power that is enlightening him. So that shows that he is enlightened. There are other forms of enlightenments as well within this world, and one of the another criteria, you can put it down as this is very disputed. Some say that this is the highest for this world, some say that that is the highest, but I in particular say that two forms are very high. Well, actually three. One is that if you practice, if you are enlightened and you practice enlightenment as a subject, you practice it, you try to learn it, you can start finding out worldly things into the future and from the past, or anything about anyone, not anything about anyone, but most of the things you want to find out, which are within reach and which are right to do. And the other thing is that you can learn things about this world in a very enlightened manner. If you keep that in front, then you can basically, you've got one reference point. One reference point is the object itself. The second reference point is what you know about the object or you're learning. That is the same thing because it's you. And the third one will be the one that is guiding you or enlightening you. That will have a perspective as well of that. So then you can basically use these as tools to find out a lot of things. But this is only of this world. I'm not talking about anything to do with enlightenment itself, or maybe the light, or anything to do with godness. It's nothing to do with that. It's nothing to do with any religion. It's just to do with your auntie, uncles and kids and marriage or these worldly things, which is, there is nothing wrong. If it was, I say that if it was wrong, it wouldn't have been created. And this is something that is not in your control. This is beyond your senses and beyond your control. Now comes in one form. You're sitting in your house and maybe cooking, or maybe the guy is watching football, and suddenly a gush of repeatedly in his head, he's trying to avoid it, but still that thought is coming. Because remember one thing, on this scale, on this lower scale of guidance or enlightenment, basically it comes in your thoughts, and sometimes it becomes uncontrollable. You don't want to, you obviously bad things you don't want to think about. Like for example, today XYZ will have an accident. Repeatedly you're seeing that, and you're watching, trying to concentrate on the football, and then you call someone. I don't know why I'm getting this thought repeatedly. I don't want to think about it, and it's really horrible. I'm seeing someone die in an accident, or maybe an accident is happening, and this, that, and the other. And then this is the bad one. Now the good one is repeatedly one thought coming, and you're watching football or cricket, and then the thought is coming in that, what do you call it? Somebody is going to give 2 kilos of gold to someone, and you're just thinking why. And then the next thing is you tell someone, I don't know why this thought is coming, it's just bothering me. I don't know, are we expecting gold from someone, or you start thinking, why is this thought coming? But then when you watch the news in the night, you find out that some XYZ king has given XYZ king's daughter 2 kg of gold as a gift. But that is guidance. That is enlightenment. But that is a very, 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 very high-end classification of guidance, that you're doing something and then still you've been flooded with one information repeatedly until you realize that that incident is going to happen. The only thing is you don't know about it, and when you will find out, so then you will know about it in reality and in this space and this time. But that is basically somebody, the superior power is informing you. Now, if you think about it, I'll just touch one line here, that why do they do this? That XYZ, somebody is going to give someone something. The thing is that they want to keep that enlightenment awakened. It has to stay awake, and it has to inform you and keep itself informed that I need to pass information as per whenever required and needed. That's one thing. Now, this is one of the highest forms. This is one of the highest forms. Now comes in a form where changing. As they say, create as you speak. That is, according to my book, it's one of the highest forms. You're a common man. You go to a friend and you meet him and you say, okay, you ask him, where's your motorcycle? Oh, it's been stolen. The guy replied back, oh, it's been stolen. You say, okay, you'll get another one. I think you'll find it by the evening. Just left it in the air. In the evening, the same guy in the motorcycle. You were right, I found it. And he knows that you're a common man, and you already know you're a common man. This is how things happen. Some people say that once in every 24 hours in a day, there is a span where basically you can, in our language it's called kabuliyat. It's basically time of acceptance. Whatever you say, that happens. It's create as you speak. That's what happens. But that happens very randomly then. This thing happens like you go to the fish market and before leaving, your wife on the door says, bring some yogurt. So you just jokingly say that, oh, the yogurt shop would be closed just because you're lazy. When you go there, the yogurt shop is literally closed due to any reason. Maybe a strike of the milkman or something. But this is how it happens. These are the things that happen. And the worst case scenarios in this form happens the way in that form. If you say something bad about someone, that basically creates. Now then we become judgmental and we think that no, right or wrong. That this is not the subject here. Just talking about the way, are you enlightened or no? Now the last one. Not the last, well, the second last. You're sitting here in basically somebody's house, and somebody is talking to you, and you tell them that, before coming you forgot to bring the keys of your house, and they get shocked. Yeah, how did you find out? That's a different story. It's not the matter of how, it's a matter of you are enlightened. You started to know information, random information about anyone. This is basically one of the highest forms. You can basically from one space into another space, you can peep colors, you can see colors, you can see basically objects, surroundings of the person within that room. And while you are in that room, you can basically talk to the spirit if you are that powerful, or maybe shake their soul, because soul is something that you shake it. And they say that when shaking the soul spiritually, basically it removes the dirt from it. It's like It's like a muddy cloth. The cloth you just you do like that, the mud starts to fall off. So basically you shake the soul. Or you can, while being in that room, or maybe not being in that room, have a peep into the past, rectify the present, because that is the only thing you can rectify, and look into the future. The future cannot be rectified until the past is not made straight. That is one law of enlightenment. Now the other thing is, this is one form. Now I would say the last one has come up. The last one is that you're talking to someone on the phone, and then basically you tell them, not like this, not without their knowledge. You tell them there is a vase kept in the right corner of your room, and they will go, yes. The color is white and blue, yes. And there is no water in it, and they will say, yes, there is no water in just a vase, a big Chinese vase. And how old is it? It's about 5 years old. I bought it from the market or something. Okay, now watch it break. And you drop it, and it falls and it breaks. That's it. That's the last. When you start to, from the senses of your touch. Now there are a lot of theories about this thing, but I will not discuss any of the theories over here. Maybe in the next vlogs I will discuss them, but not right now. The only thing is, the senses of your touch you use against time and space. You basically break the law of time and space and break the law of enlightenment, and then you basically drop that vase over there. That is only done by a physical presence, and physical presence is the most sensitive area of your touch, and that is your fingers, because there is no other more sensitive than your fingers. The thing is, if any of these, not all of them, any one of them you have, basically you are blessed with enlightenment. That's what I believe, and my beliefs are very weak as a person. They're very weak, but I'm very sure of my beliefs. I'm very sure of my beliefs. And once I believe in something, I do not turn my back on it, neither on people. This is my habit. But the thing is, any one of these, you're feeling, sensing, or maybe dreaming or something, finding out, that means you are enlightened. That means you're blessed. Blessed. There is someone there who is guiding you and helping you and trying to show you the path, which one thing in my experience is very difficult to understand the path. But this is for sure that you are basically blessed, and I will conclude this over here, and thank you very much for watching Divine Knowledge, and make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, that is important, and do share the link if you've got the resources and the time, because as in English they say, sharing is always caring. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.